how to make comma.
That's exactly what we are going to talk about in this video. Hello there guys, it's Sky. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most asked questions. How do you make income in Wakfu? What is the ways that you could get commas in the game? Because I see people complaining all the time. Oh, my market isn't selling anything. I can't get any money. Nothing seems to be selling. How it's impossible to be getting any kind of income unless you are very high level. And today I will prove for you that it is no matter what is your level, you will be able to make income in a very stable way, no matter what's your level of play. As long as you have time and motivation, you will be able to reach whatever goal you have. So, first things first, I'll be dividing the player base into 3 categories, so you can know in which category you belong and you follow the ways that I put for these categories and tips and tricks for it. Just to make it easier for you to figure out what you need to do. And I will also add tips and tricks that will increase your chance and efficiency in getting your comma. So first, we'll be talking about solo players. You are just installed Wakfu, you enter the game, and right now you finish the tutorial and you are in Astro. So you think, what is my next step? What do I do? As I just started the game. How do you get rolling? Well, first of all, you just started the game. You don't have to worry too much about what are you doing. You can just do the quests, get friends, enjoy the environment, because Wakfu is such a huge game. There's so much to enjoy around here. So making Kama and getting gears is kind of very far on the list. You don't have to worry about it right now. So you leveled up, now you're level 70, you are level 80, you're thinking, I see all these people with those very wonderful costumes, very shiny relic auras, all these gears, they do more damage than me, they are more tanky than me, they do more heals than me. I want to join the cool kids. I want to become strong. How do I get the income to do so? Get the kama and walk my way to the market and just yoink whatever I see in there, because I have a kama for it. Well, for you, as a low-level solo player, your best option is professions. You can pick between 6 of them. You have farmer, fisherman, hairblast, lumberjack, miner, and trapper. The trapper doesn't really make you kama, so keep that in mind. It makes a small amount compared to the other ones. The best one by far is the miner, and the other ones comes kinda in a tie. Maybe the fisherman stands out a little bit, but the miner is kinda the best one. So you might be thinking, how do I mine? Do I just go and find the ores that I need to farm? Basically, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. Look at this, they have those in the game to help you understand where do you find those ores. You can click on it and it will show you the area. You can go here and get the ore that you are looking for, which is the iron ore for you as someone who just is starting mining. So by the time, you can slowly progress your way through the levels. One by one, you will get to the higher ones. At best case, what you are looking to do is to kinda max it out. The problem with miner and fisherman compared to the other professions like lumberjack, herbalist, and farmer, you can't get through to the fishes and mines as a low-level player. So you can't reach a high level most of them, not all of them. Most of them you can't reach them unless you are high level to enter the area. But when you reach high level miner, you can target the people who are ready to pay a lot of kama for those ores. The people who are looking to pay a lot of kama for the ores that you are mining is maxed out people. They have a lot of kama and they don't care of paying extra just to get those mines that they want in time. So like those are the kind of people that you as somebody who wants kama should be targeting. They are your best clients. So you could think, so I'm level 0 miner right now. Do I mine all the way for level 130 without getting any kama? Because those things are low level. The ores that I'm farming are low level and nobody will buy them. Actually, no. The thing is, those ores, they could be cheap, but there is people who buy them. Again, rich people. Because a lot of people who want to level their miner, for example, high level people who just want to max out their professions. Those high level people, they buy your ores, the low level ones, to increase the level of their own miner without spending time on harvesting it themselves and leveling it, which is by buying your ores and crafting the steel. There's steel every 10 levels. They buy a certain amount to get them to the next threshold, and they just do this over and over till they max out their miner. Some people do that, and it's not uncommon to see that. So basically, you don't have to worry. Your ores will not be wasted. Anything you farm has value, but it varies. That's why I am guiding you through it, so you don't have to do the hard work of figuring out what sells best. And by me focusing on the miner, I don't mean that the other professions are any bad. They're actually pretty great. I used to farm wood in my heaven bag for hours and hours. Get around 200k kamas, 2 hours or something. It was my main source of income when I was low level. So things such as lumberjack, farmer, they all work great. So you don't have to focus on the fisherman or the miner to get your income. The cool thing about lumberjack and farmer and herblast, you can farm them in your heaven bag actually. So it's a very safe, nice place to get your work done. And surely, not all the kama you make is by farming professions and doing miner and fishermen and such. You can do some nice thrifts. It's a very good place that you can do to get drops that is very valuable, because those drops are used by high level people. Those high level people, as we said before, are ready to pay you a lot. From the rifts, you got a long list of drops. Some of them are really not worth much, like green gears or whatever that there is, very cheap stuff. You can simply crush those into shards or powder. Those you can use on your own gear or just sell them. And there is expensive stuff. There is sublimations that high level people want, which is, for example, in a Machina Rift, there is Abandoned sublimation, which is used in support builds. And in Bonta Rift, you got the sublimation Destruction, which will people gladly pay a lot for it. And lastly, we got Alls. Alls is simply doing a dungeon while decreasing your level to the level of the dungeon. Okay, so if you are level 50 and you're trying to do Boomyao dungeon, you have to decrease your level to level 15 or 20, depending on what level is allowed there. And you get a free emblem to give you stats, or you do a full build with the gears that you can fit in your build, for that dungeon. So you have a very long list of dungeons that you can do and choose from. You get a lot of them. The ones that is worth your time is usually ultimate bosses. But right now the system is kinda broken because people can abuse playing a lot of characters and getting many ranks this way. So like they don't give you a chance to get to fit in the rank yourself too. You need to get at least a bronze rank, which is simply fitting in the first 200 people in the dungeon, which should be relatively easy in order to get a chance to win something of the end of month chests. You can do this with your guild, with your friends. It's pretty easy as long as you are not aiming for rank 1, because that one is pretty hard to get. And basically that's how you do owls. It's a little bit of gamble if you get a reward or not, but if you do, if you pull something really good from those chests, you can become a millionaire like in a span of a second, because some of those thrones are worth a lot of karma, and they will help you definitely in your way of making your own gear and own sets by selling them. Okay, so right now you are 150 and above in level. What is the options right now, the best options to be getting kamas? Okay, so you unlocked one of the most important ways that you can make kamas with, which is sublimations. You can find the best sublimations to drop in Exilar Past and Exilar Present. And you can use steelies there. If you don't understand what is steelies, you should look it up. It's just a way to add mechanics to the dungeon and you get rewards for it. In Exilar Pass you get Ambush Legendary. It is the best drop you can get from there. Aside from the gears, Legendary is epics there. And Exilar Present, you can get Slow Influence Legendary there, which is the best thing you can get in there, basically. It's a very good kama. It's not very hard to do overall, but just like with some setup, some learning, you should be able to do it a piece of cake. For me, like when I returned to the game in the beginning of 2020, Exilar Present was my way to go to make kama, because I was pretty weak. I just didn't know what to do. I was confused with all the changes that happened to the game. So this dungeon was my best friend and I headed right away for it. And you leveled up a tiny bit more. You are level 180 right now. Is those dungeons in Moon, are they worth to make kamas in them? Let's see. You got Crocodile Dungeon. You got the ultimate boss, which is Sham Moon. You got Carnivore, you got Cannibal, you got Tropical, you got Forbidden City and German. All of the, like most of those dungeons, they share something in common. They are very hard and very punishing. The stealies in these places are very punishing. They are just so hard to do. So like me, looking at those places, I don't really see kamas coming from them. I can see like doing them for fun, maybe to see them like once and never again. If you never did this place before, you would understand why nobody does them, because they are so punishing. If there's one place I would recommend to get some karma from, it is Forbidden City. It's a very special place. You do it like there's one fight, one boss fight, and that's it. There's a lot of drops, a lot of nice sublimations, a lot of very good gears that you could sell or can even use yourself. It is pretty confusing place at first, but if you get a guide about it, if you do it a couple times, it should be a piece of cake, and it is very recommended if you get a couple of friends to do it with them. And right now we are reaching the level 200 threshold. Right now you will notice something. You will notice a huge expanding in the content, so many dungeons, so many islands to see, and so many places to try. What the best thing I can recommend for you here is start to seriously build yourself and get the gears and just make your character strong, basically, because a lot of those places they give a good amount of karma overall. So let's take a look at those dungeons. There's the Badger, there's the Dormor, there's the Dragon, There's a lot of them. So if there's one place I would recommend for you to like maybe spam a lot, if you can like find somebody to do it with, it's the mineral tower. It's a pretty good place. You can get a lot of shards from it, which you can sell and you can use on yourself. Shards are like very valuable to use on yourself because they give you overall a very huge boost of stats. So treating yourself with a couple of shards will never hurt. And if you can get lucky, you can try to do 3 Steely's Pandala Tomb. It's a place that like a lot of people do. It's kind of super easy and super chill, I can say, if you have an idea what you are doing with your team. And it's pretty rewarding because you get a sublimation from there called Healing 3. And one last place to mention, it is the Boborg Factory. That place is really hard as a dungeon, but the mobs are pretty good, like Kama farming wise, because their drops are pretty valuable for people. People really love to buy their drops, the green ones. So what you can do is fight mobs outside of the dungeon and get those drops and sell them at the market for like a pretty good price. They still hold their own till like this day. And once you hit 201, my favorite place to farm, if I was a solo player, it would be Osa Rift. It's such an amazing place with such a variety of drops that you could get. And the best of all, it's very easy to do as a solo player if you understand how this place works. There's a lot of mobs in here, a lot of mechanics, and if you mess up, things can surely go wrong. But the rewards here is really huge. You got Pretension as your like #1 goal. Pretension Legendary. It's a submission that again all high level people want, and they will pay a lot for it. So you got your eyes on it. You need to get it at best case. If you don't, it's fine. And you also get other gears and legendaries, a lot of things to drop from here. So overall, it's such an amazing place because there's a lot of good options that comes from here. If you don't drop Potential, you might be dropping an epic or a legendary piece of gear, which will sell for a pretty good karma. And don't forget, it's very fun to do because you get so much stats and you feel like an absolute god in this place. And if you are wondering how this rift goes, you can watch my video about it where I solo it using SRAM. And I'll be putting the video on the screen right now. If it doesn't appear, that means I didn't figure it out and I didn't understand how to put it, but it should be there on my channel. Also, by you being high level player, you unlock a new way of getting Kama, which is simply leveling other people. There's a lot of low level people who look to speed up their progress because they get impatient, they get bored from leveling themselves, so they ask for leveling services. You could be that service provider. Simply type in the trade chat that you are looking to level people. People will come for you and you figure out a deal with them. And this way you get a bunch of Kama. So this kinda wraps up our guide on the chapter that we explain how to gain Kama as a complete solo player. Right now we will be explaining how to gain Kama as somebody who has booster. So 3 characters average. So you starting off the game with a booster as a low level player, again, you can't make Kama by looting stuff like dungeons. It's just not rewarding enough. So again, focus on leveling yourself or proficiency. Both will get you like slowly into the like spot that you need to be making more Kamas. The only thing I would recommend you to like do more than a completely solo player is Owls, because it's you get 3 characters, so you get triple the rewards basically. If you could fit in some Owls like each month, it's pretty good gamble to get a couple drops, because like some chance to get drops is better than none after all, right? After you get for level 160 or above, you would notice how nice it is to have booster, because Being with 3 characters gives you so much options to do and play, and gives you the potential to actually carry the group that you are in when you play with friends and such, because you have obviously 3 characters, which has much more impact than one. You'll be getting more loot, more XP, more everything, because you have 3 characters. And also, booster makes your life so easy. So booster is such a nice thing to have. It makes your game easy mode, basically. You just do the same thing as a solo player. You get in a group to do auxiliary past, auxiliary present. You zoom through moon because there's not much to do there. Then you get for level 200, which there you can do dungeons which will give you nice drops. For example, as we said before, Pandala Tomb, and especially you can do Mineral Tower. It's super good for you because it needs 3 characters, and you have booster and you can run 3 characters. So this place is designed for you. It's an amazing place to do as somebody with a booster, because it's something very spammable, and you'll get used for it, and you'll make a lot of shards out of it, and a lot of karma basically. And getting for level 215, 210, this range of level, it's pretty hard to get karma from doing those dungeons with randoms, because they are pretty tough, and a lot of the organized people already have teams who they can do those dungeons with. So mostly you'll be doing status 1 or 5. That's will not really bring you drops. So what you need to do is mostly get a partner who knows what he's doing, and spam those one dungeon, learn it very well, and start doing it over and over. You and your partner should be getting nice drops and nice rewards over time once you get used for that place. And if you find yourself without a gaming partner, you can just take Mineral Tower again, because there's another one at level 201, which will do the same basic thing. Just spam it and get shards, and that's about it. Shards, kamas, everybody needs shards basically. And right now, we reach the part where we explain how do we make kama with somebody who has 2 accounts, aka 6 characters. So there is pros and cons of getting 2 accounts. The pros is you don't need a team, you can do things on your own, you can make a full squad just by yourself. But the cons is how do you start it? It's so costly. You need 2 boosters. It's just the start is really rough for it. So how do you start it efficiently, and how do you get rolling with it? First things first, you'll be low level obviously, and you'll have to get yourself up. Slowly level your way. So what would I recommend? Is just focus on XPing, and maybe whatever you get on your way, just sell it, gather up karma, or basically use the gears on yourself. Some of those gears that you will be dropping along your way will be pretty useful for your own characters, so do that and just save up karma basically. Leveling shouldn't be a big issue. It will be slow, but it shouldn't be a big issue, because a booster gives you a nice XP bonuses and prospecting and such. Unless you are playing without booster and on 6 clients, which is an absolute psychopathic move, and I would not recommend it. You will stress your PC CPU too much with that. So spend a couple bucks on buying a booster. It should be much better than opening 6 clients, obviously. So once you get for level 160, you can start getting some kamas going, which is by again the Exiler's dungeon. Past, present, both gives you nice sublimations. I would really recommend getting those dungeons done. Now, after you keep leveling and gearing your way up, you will reach moon level. Again, I don't really recommend getting kama from this place because it's really rough. Steelies are absolutely terrible to do. Not much to say about this place. I myself, what I did back in the day when it was worth it, I found cannibal, I found visibilities from this place. But looking at myself right now, it's an absolute madman move to do, because it needs so much practice. It need you will fail so much on your face. The first time I did this place, it took me It took me like 5 hours to do it once. It took me 5 hours to do this place once on status 11. So you can imagine how horrible this place is on 3 steelies. So unless you have too much dedication, I wouldn't really recommend farming this place at all. Like this moon level. The only thing I would recommend is Forbidden City, because again, it's such a nice dungeon, very spammable, very easy, very brain dead, and gives a lot of good drops. There's also Harborg boss in Jerbane dungeon, and also in Boborg dungeon. It's like a bonus boss that you add to the fight. It gives you very nice rewards, but again, he is back in the day he was very worth it because his drops were so expensive. But right now he is not that good, and like he's still very hard. The fight is so confusing. There's so much going on, so many things happening. So I wouldn't really recommend him unless like you want to try everything in the game. Basically, he is one of the last things I would try. And right now we reached level 200. That's where huge amount of kamas comes in. I will be explaining very carefully how did I get my billions of kamas from this level of dungeons. So keep a close eye out. Just to clear things up, I'll not explain which sublimation comes from which dungeon. So first thing you see is ultimate bosses, which is Nogord, Shadowfang, and Orgrist. Those three guys, they were pretty worth it back in the day, but right now I don't really see them very worth it. Maybe Orgrist, but Shadowfang and Nogord, I don't think they are worth the time and effort to learn them. The reward is not that good, so I would just keep them to the side. So you've got the other dungeons, the rest: Badger, Dormor, Dragon, Eternals, Pandara, Blighter, and Boborg. So, as somebody with 6 characters, the most important thing you need to know is your limits. What status can you do and how many steelies, you know? Because everybody's team is different, everybody's skills is also different, team composition, etc, etc. So like that plays a lot into like doing dungeons and how much you can how much pressure you can handle. What I would recommend is just find a lot of mythical gear and make good sockets for your team. This way you can start a very budget friendly set that can do a lot of things. So based on the difficulty, I would rank Dormor as the easiest one. Spamming 3 steelies there will give you Devastate. And also, there's Acquirable that you Acquirable boss that you can add on all the Zenith dungeons, which is 4: Badger, Dormor, Dragon, and Eternals. Is it worth it to add it in Dormor? From my experience, no, it's not worth it. It's too hard. It's very buggy. It's super annoying to do. So I would not recommend adding Acquirable boss in this place ever. Just 3 steelies and that's about it. Then the second one is Pandala Tomb. This place is super nice on 3 steelies. It's very brain dead. You can find a video about it in my channel, doing it on status 50 and 3 steelies, and it's super easy if you understand how it works. So I would really recommend spamming it. The next dungeon you can be spamming is Eternals. This place with Acquirable is very amazing for Kama, because you have a good amount of sublimations that drops from here. You have return, AP return, and you have tolerance. Those two sublimations a lot of people want, and they are always in demand. So you're getting those and also getting an emblem from there, and then epic. It's a lot of things that you could be dropping that is worth a lot. So I recommend this one. And next one is Boborg. It's pretty hard one because the boss is just annoying to deal with if you have melees, kinda. He jumps around and the fight is kinda weird, but it's pretty fun. But it's just hard, and the rewards right now from him is not like the best, because back in the day, the epic ring that you could get from there, Rosone ring, was worth a lot. Right now, it's not worth much. So, yeah, the value of this place kind of dropped. And the last one is Badger. This place with acquirable is pretty tricky to say the least. It's you might see it as very very tough because if you know how this place works, the boss has a rain spell that one shots you if you fall under it. With acquirable, it gets even more tricky, but if you learn how to do this place, it's super easy and really worth it because he gives integrity, he gives an amazing emblem, and like his boss drops are worth a lot. The gears from there is very good. So it's like the highest skill dungeon that you can be farming in level 200 with like acquirable and such. So I put it high on the list because it's just difficult to do. And remember, almost each one of those dungeons that I just recommended for you to farm, you can find them on my channel in videos. So go and check them out so you have an idea how the fight goes, how things are. It's pretty helpful if you like to say the least. And a quick recap on what we just explained here. Bad gear with acrobal, amazing to farm, but it's tricky. Domor, don't put acrobal, 3 steals only, it's really beginner friendly, recommended to do. Dragon Dungeon, I didn't explain this one, but I do this on 6 stealies, like I do it on the hardest way possible. It's very tricky to do it on 6 stealies, so if you want to, do it only on acquirable. The fight is really chill, super chill. If you want to learn acquirable and how he works, this place is like the best you can go for. Because you don't fight the 2 bosses at the same time. You just fight acquirable first, kill him, then hatch the next boss, you know? If you did this place once, you'll understand me. This place, how worth it is, I think it is amazingly worth, like super worth it on 6 stealies. On only acquirable, it's still okay too, but not the best. But on 6 steals, it's like absolutely amazing. I would really recommend it. And we said this one with acquirable, it's also like kind of tricky, but it's very rewarding, recommended. This one is very good. 3 steals, super easy, super chill. Blighto, we didn't talk about it because I never farmed it. It's very slow. It's very boring for me. I don't really like the design of the rooms of that dungeon, so I just never really bothered with it. If you want to try something new, maybe you prove me wrong, you can go and farm it. But like for myself, it's like when I looked at it, I just remembered Cannibal, and I didn't want to go back to farm Cannibal. So basically, yeah. Boborg, it's just simply it's just not worth it to do it anymore. So I wouldn't really do it. When you reach level 201, you will get more content to do. What I would recommend to do in this content, I would honestly skip almost all of it. Back in the day, I would say it's worth, but right now it's just not because of the introduction of 230 items. The Sniffle Dagger that used to worth too much here, it just dropped in price. The only 2 things that is worth to do right now is like maybe Sunsloth status 41 rooms, gives you Desert Blade. But it's again, it's really not that much worth it. The only thing that is very worth it right now is Mount Zinit Rift. This place is absolutely amazing to get Kama. It's full of amazing drops. There's sublimations, there's epics, there's legendary gears. There's just a lot of things on the list for you to get from here. So I would absolutely recommend farming this place and learning it. Like the only downside is it's kinda rough. Yes, it's hard. It's not easy place. There's bosses. There's like, if you mess up, things can absolutely go wrong. But it's absolutely worth it at the same time. High risk, high reward, basically. And getting for the max level. Right now, almost every dungeon is worth it currently. It's just Void is worth it, Horror Demon is worth it, Stry is worth it, Destroyer is also very good, and the Fungi's one is okay too. But the one that I'd be focusing the most on is Roshu Palace. This place is full of drops, full of like so many things that you could get from a single fight. Like each fight I do there is like 80 million, something like this. I just geared my characters so much by this place. Because so many gears from here, so like a lot of things that I get is just like I just use on myself. and made so many characters that I have fun with. I made Feka damage dealer, I made Rogue, I made Elio, so many things. It's just an amazing place to farm currently. What I would be recommending to do is something easy. Those fungies are like the easiest dungeon in here, and there's also Anathar that you could add for each dungeon of them. He gives extra drops and extra difficulty for the dungeon, but overall he's almost always worth it, so try to add him to the dungeon. And something you can do to get also some side kama is challenges. Each island has a challenge container. You fill those up and you get hordes and arch monsters. Those give some very good drops that you could sell for some really good kama. For example, Vile Boots. Rich people who want those boots are like kinda lazy to farm them, just like in my case. I'm lazy to run around and fight for those hordes and get it. So I just ask people to sell it for me, and I will gladly give people 20 million for each boot. So like if you kill like couple arches, get 2 of those boots, that's an easy like 40 million in the bag for you, if you like get a deal with somebody who really wants those boots. The Demonic Pact. It is known as the wild PvP system in the game currently. It's basically, it gives you extra drops and extra XP rate. In exchange, those drops and XP, they go to the Demonic Pact, which is locked behind you going and extracting it, which like gets people to kill you, steal your loot, and maybe lose all your hard work in a matter of like span of 1 second, you know? So would I recommend it? I absolutely do. It's amazing to increase your drop chance of getting things and getting more XP overall. It's kinda tricky to survive people, avoid them, kill them in PvP and such. If you are not strong enough to kill people in PvP and fight back, you can simply just be sneaky. Avoid interaction with people, avoid getting caught with your XP and loot. So you can always end up in the scenario where you are happily extracting your loot in a safe way and you not get caught. The worst case scenario is you getting obliterated and one-shot in the most horrific ways possible. The second thing I would like to mention is conversion stuns. Those are very good way of getting kamas like rather quickly when you are low level. Like you just started the game, you are completely broke and you want to help yourself out. Those are an amazing way of getting that done quickly. It's basically trading your money into kama basically. It's super easy and super great for low level people to figure out themselves, getting them like that small bit of boost that they need to start rolling in the game. And the third thing I would like to add up to this list is loot potions. They are very, very, very powerful to make you get the drops that you need. Like you might be thinking, each loot potion is 500 k kamas, which is 500,000. It's really a lot, and I might be not able to afford it because of how much it costs, and it not like might be even not worth it in the first place, right? But let me tell you, there is one secret for me becoming rich rather quickly and maintaining my kama flow. It is loot potions. It's something not all players know about, but it is so powerful, it's so OP when it comes to make you getting the drops that you want. Only if you use it in the right place. So you might be asking, what is the right place? When is it wrong to use them and when is it right to use them? The wrong time to use them is when you are uncertain that you are going to win the dungeon run or like the fight that you are going to have. For example, you are with the randoms and you are doing status 11 I don't know, do more or something. You are not going to active stealies, You are just going to do a daily run. Obviously, you are not going to use a potion in this run because there's not many chances. There's not there's not anything to drop. There's no submissions. There's no epics. There's no like nothing literally. So what I recommend you using the potions for is, for example, you are going to run a dungeon like 2-3 times with a friend on status 21 and steelies, you know. So this way you are going to get drops, and you guys, both of you, knows what you are doing. You are going to spam it, you are going to win, and you are going to get the maximum 2 hours value of this potion. So use it on one of your characters and like such, and see the difference in drops. It is very, very noticeable, and I strongly recommend using them if you want to be getting drops in a serious manner, because they really help me. So they will help you too. So this will wrap up our guide on making kamas. It was a long video. I explained a lot of things and you might get confused at this point, but it's pretty simple. If you don't understand something, you can always play it again, and you can always ask me in the comments too, because I would gladly answer your questions. Just to make the idea simple, basically choose one place, one dungeon, or one thing that gives good rewards, one of the ones that I mentioned before, and master it. Spam it enough times. No matter what you are doing, if you spam it enough times, you will get good at it. It might be boring, yes, for sure. Spamming something over and over is boring, but it will make you reach the point that you want to be, which is getting your gear and becoming rich, basically. And one last thing I can add to the video is doing new content when they come out. For example, from today, in 2 weeks or something 10 days, the next patch will be dropping. It has new rifts added to the game. What I can tell you is, go and do those rifts. Call your friend, do it by yourself, just try them out. They will have good new drops, maybe sublimations, maybe gears. You will be getting so much value out of them because people want those. If you are the first to ride the train, you will be the one who is gaining the most cam out of it. So prepare yourself, and once that patch hits, use all your time in farming those new rifts. You will see some big results, trust me on that one. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you found the video pretty helpful for you. If you want more content from me, you can join my Discord and follow my Twitch. We are a pretty peaceful community in the Discord. We enjoy our time and we have fun. That's about it. I will see you in the next video, guys. Have a good one, and bye bye.